pixels have feelings too.
I've waited so long to do that.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 video game love interests.
I see the stories they tell of Grey Warden endurance are not exaggerated.
For this list, we chose the most appealing and unforgettable love interest in video games. They have to be alive at the start of the game they're in, so as touched as we were by Wander's affection for Mono in Shadow of the Colossus, we sadly had to leave her off. As usual, one character per franchise.
Very simple.
There will be some spoilers ahead, so be warned.
Nate! Just dance with the one who brought you, all right?
Number 10, Morrigan, Dragon Age Origins.
One day I will track her down again in whatever body she inhabits, and she will die again and again if need be.
This RPG is loaded with appealing love interests that you can try to get into bed with. However, it was the sultry, shape-shifting witch that won this spot. She was raised by another witch, her mother Flemeth, who taught her the ways of magic, but kept her isolated and made it a challenge for her to relate to other people.
Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides.
Still, the tough exterior makes her all the more appealing, so you're gonna want to try to get her to talk to you.
Come then, let us be off before the others begin to stare.
Number 9, Katherine and Katherine. Katherine.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about?
Protagonist Vincent has several possible romantic interests in this game. He's been dating his girlfriend, Katherine with a K, for 5 years.
Owen, I am pregnant.
But he's not sure if he wants to marry her, and he often prefers being at a bar called the Stray Sheep to spending time with her. When he's there, he meets a sexy and mysterious girl, Katherine with a C, who begins to play an increasingly important role in his weird life.
Waiting for me, huh? You trying to kill me this whole time?
Both girls make the list because the game has good endings for both, meaning there's no real right answer here.
A perfect escape from the terrifying nightmare. You let Vincent out with your exceptional skills.
Number 8, Goal, Deponia series. The protagonist in this point-and-click game, Rufus, hopes to escape his village of Kuvak, but he hopes for the love of this Elysian pixie even more. Her brain implant gets damaged, meaning that Rufus doesn't actually see what she's like until he wakes her up with coffee. However, her lack of personality allows him to impose his fantasies upon her, until he screws up her implants and splits up her personality.
What? How did I wind up here?
Most people ask that, but very few of them really want to hear the answer.
Did we mention that Rufus isn't that bright?
Me. It was me.
Number 7, Zelda, The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. We're picking the Skyward Sword iteration of Zelda, as there's a stronger chemistry between her and Link in this game, even if she drives him crazy. Unfortunately, she gets kidnapped from their home village of Skyloft, and he has to battle demonic forces in order to rescue her. Women, am I right? It's a tough journey, but it's made even harder when she seals herself in a crystal in order to keep the world safe. At least until Link can get that Triforce. Number 6, Aeris, Final Fantasy VII. This legendary RPG series has been filled with unforgettable love interests. Yuna in Final Fantasy X is also considered, but Aerith moved us way more. She's a young flower seller who catches the attention of protagonist Cloud Strife when he's helping out the eco-terrorist group Avalanche. After a date on the Golden Saucer, he cares about her so much that he's willing to do whatever it takes to keep her safe. Sadly, that doesn't end well. Number 5, Elena Fisher, Uncharted series.
Elena Fisher, foreign correspondent.
Hey, Sully.
Protagonist Nathan Drake isn't too keen on this journalist at first. Long story short, he tricks her into funding an expedition to recover his ancestor's coffin, even though he knows it's empty, and he ditches her before the first game is over.
That's for leaving me at the dock.
However, things change when she shows up midway through the second game, and they finally relieve their sexual tension with a long-awaited kiss, despite competition from Chloe.
I'm sorry, am I sensing some history here?
Oh, Elena Fisher. Last year's model.
Number 4, Elaine Marley, Monkey Island series. This sexy governess is pretty independent, but at least one guy is able to win her over, the protagonist, Guybrush Threepwood.
Only the hope of finding my love, Elaine, keeps me going.
Unfortunately, he's not the only one who's into her, as the evil undead pirate LeChuck repeatedly kidnaps her in the interest of forcing himself upon her. Stop me if you've heard this one before.
You know, I don't think my father would approve of me dating the undead.
Thankfully, Guybrush is there to save her, but she later dumps him before the events of the second game, though he does win her back in time for the third game, when he turns her to stone with a cursed wedding ring.
Our first meeting was a little awkward. You seem to have trouble forming complete sentences.
Number 3, Marle, Chrono Trigger. Silent protagonist Chrono sure had his world turned upside down when these two bump into each other. After she gets sent back in time by accident, he and his friend Luca discover her real name is Princess Nadia, and that she had slipped out of her castle to check out the fair. Without spoiling too much here, her feelings for Chrono start to emerge if you bring her to the summit of Death Peak after Chrono's been separated from the group. Number 2, Garrus Vakarian, Mass Effect series.
Let's look for a control panel.
Nice outfit. Control panel, right.
You didn't think it was going to be all ladies on this list, did you? Garrus shines ahead of every other possible romance in the series, because his relationship scenes are priceless.
I did the best I could without a carapace or a crest.
Your best has my mandible on the floor.
Even though he might seem like a strange choice for FemShep, since she's human and he doesn't have lips, his sweet personality make him ideal, especially since he clearly has no idea how to flirt with humans, so he sorta just improvises.
Your, hair looks good, and your waist is very supportive.
Before we get to our number 1, let's take a look at some honorable mentions.
Yes. Yes, there is a power cell in here.
You did it. Take the dagger. Strike it into the center of the dome.
Number 1, Mona Sachs, Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne.
Max, we gotta stop meeting like this.
No video game romance could top the chaotic chemistry between this contract killer and the titular alcoholic cop. Though she drugs him when they first meet in this title's predecessor, she has enough feelings for him by the end of the game to refuse in order to kill him.
See, I can't do it.
However, it's in the sequel that their feelings for each other truly blossom, when they join forces, although the differences between them make things complicated.
I told you not to come here. It's my job to clear up this mess, and you're a part of it. Throw away your guns.
Do you agree with our list?
Why? Am I making this hard for you and Garrus?
Which video game love interest won over your heart? For more romantic top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.